Today on Hanging with the Homies, we got Mr. Rick Cheeseman.
The one and only.
Right.
SQRBDY. Mr. SQRBDY. And his fancy 86
Not fancy.
C10.
It's very fancy.
Not
Oh, yeah.
fancy.
Oh, yeah. It is fancy. Look at the fancy wheels.
That's it. Fancy wheels and that's it.
No.
Shoot. Man, hey, look. This thing has made quite a bit of, like road trips.
It does do that.
Stop.
Tons of miles on this truck.
It does do that. I think we got about 70,000 on it since I've had it.
Nice.
Nice. Heck yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah. Which is great. You know, I mean, we take it on vacation. Like, This is what we take.
That's cool right there, you know.
Yeah.
A lot of people just drive 'em around here.
Yeah.
Like me, you know.
Tell us the story of the truck, Rick. Like, how did you acquire the truck and all that?
Well, I bought it from a guy up in Bowling Green. He had, I actually went up to get a different truck. He had a couple trucks. He actually had one of Dino's old trucks that I was going to go buy. It was a yellow and white 74. And we got there, he had an in a hangar, like an airplane hangar there. So he was actually pulling in front of us when we were pulling in. And I saw, we were riding behind the truck and it was the bed was crooked. You could see all this stuff that probably wouldn't have been able to see if we hadn't been riding behind him. Every wheel was rubbing. So I'm like, man, I don't know if that's not really my thing. I don't want to. I was trying to find something I could at least drive home.
Yeah.
And he had this one sitting there. Well, I knew he had this one, and so I took this one for a drive. And I'm like, yeah, let's do this. This is the one I want.
Yeah.
So it worked out good. This one needed all interior. The other one had interior. This one needed all new interior. So we did all that. But yeah, so we drove it back from Bowling Green, and you know.
Now, was the other one LS swapped as well or not?
It was. It was.
Okay.
The other one was. Yeah, it was swapped as well. That other one had like a full nice interior, it all plaid and everything. It looked good.
Yeah.
But just, I was worried about the suspension. Everything was rubbing. All four wheels were rubbing. Like he pulled in, he stopped and like I put my hand down there. And it was just full of rubber. Like,
Oh, geez.
you know, it was all melted rubber.
Yeah.
Like I can't even drive this thing back home. You know.
Yeah.
So I wanted something I could drive right then and there. You know, I still had my 67 at the time, which had 396 in it. It was a lot of work to keep it running.
Right.
It was just not my thing. You know what I mean? I'm not a mechanic like you guys, and you know, but
Far from that.
Yeah.
Mike,
so I wanted something a little more ready to go as far as drivetrain and stuff. So,
Sure.
Dude,
and this thing's been good to me.
I
Yeah,
was
Yeah,
going to say,
it's
you
been
couldn't
great.
have got a better truck.
yeah,
I mean,
it's worked out good.
It was on 20-inch torque thrust then, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
20-inch torque thrust.
Yeah.
Got rid of those as soon as I could.
Yeah.
Just, not because I don't like them.
The truck looked good on them though. It
Oh,
really
it
did.
really
It
did.
really did. But
It's just a
the
lot-
new wheel is
Definitely
so
a lot of
much
square
better.
bodies with torque thrust. you
Yeah.
know?
Yeah.
So
Mike loves torque thrust actually.
yeah, I know he
Rick sold
does.
the wheels to Mike, and
Yeah.
that's what Uncle Buck's coming out on.
I wrapped my hose up at the house with it.
I have the same thing. I actually split a wheel like in Chattanooga. I don't know, a few months later,
Yeah.
and now that's hanging on the back of the house with the hose on it.
Nice. That's perfect.
A torque thrust?
Yeah,
Oh, nice.
That's awesome.
Heck yeah.
and there's 4 other ones sitting there too.
What's under the hood of this thing? I know 6.0, right?
Yeah, it's just a stock 6.0 out of a 2500 truck. Everything's stock, 4L60. But the only thing is, you know, we got some headers on there, and Mike's done a bunch of work on some stuff here. But other than that, the drivetrain's pretty stock, and I feel like that's part of the reason it's been so reliable. You know, we haven't
For
messed
sure.
with it too much.
For sure.
You know, I've always toyed with, maybe we threw a cam in there, and I don't know. We'll see.
Yeah. I understand it.
Yeah, but it works great. It's
Yeah.
been super reliable. It's hard to mess with it because of that. Like, I've always wanted to clean up the engine bay a little bit, but like, man, it just runs so good.
Yeah.
Hard to tear it down once
Yeah,
it's running. You know, I always say,
'Cause it
I'll go back
snowballs.
and do that, and then you're like,
And I know it'll just snowball into a whole $10,000 thing, you know?
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah. For sure. What's the wheel and tire setup on it now?
so it's got 22 9s and 22 11s,
Okay.
and I can't remember the back spacing on the rears, but there's no spaces or anything, which is cool. That's one thing I wanted to make sure, and they got them all the way out to the edge. So,
Yeah, they look good. Look
Yeah.
real good. And what's the tire size on the back?
so the backs are 315 30 22s,
Okay.
and these are 255 30 22s.
Cool. Very cool.
now how many miles have you put on it since you put these wheels on it?
About over 60.
Man, that's crazy.
Yeah.
'Cause,
Yeah.
I mean,
Because the first time we ever set up a booth was at SCTN,
Mhm.
and that we got the wheels the morning as we were leaving.
Yeah.
And we did the gauges and the wheels at the same time. So the gauges I think they're at 66,000 or something like that. So.
Oh wow. Heck yeah.
So the gauges, it helps me know how many miles I have on the wheels and everything because of the gauges, because they did them at the same time.
Makes sense.
They did the gauges, the seat, and the wheels right before that show.
Yeah. Speaking of the seat, the interior in this thing's killer.
It's pretty cool. It's
Yeah.
a little worn at this point,
Yeah.
but we've done some things to it. It's kind of cool.
Hey, ain't that many people are putting that many miles on a custom interior.
Yeah, and my fat ass sits in that thing all the time. So. Yeah. But yeah, the seats being that's one of my favorite things to see, just because the stock seats, man. They look kind of cool, but like not for road trips, man.
No, I agree.
They're not
Yeah.
great for that.
Yeah.
Right.
The interior's killer. The door panels are done to match the seat.
Yeah, we made these little pockets. We 3D printed some pockets for it to get rid of those flappy ass pockets.
Yeah, for sure.
So,
What's the suspension setup on this thing?
so it's old.
Okay.
It's got the DJM lowering control arms on it, and then
Okay.
flip kit in the rear. So it's like a 5.8.
Okay.
I think we got that rear down as far as we can get it down at this point with Mike messing with it.
Yeah.
That's got helper bags on it too.
Yeah, it's got
Oh,
helper
helper
bags.
bags,
Yeah,
yeah.
because of the camper top, it's got helper bags because that thing. Yeah. It's in the backyard. That's where it should be.
Yeah.
Doghouse.
Leslie loves it.
Yeah, it is. Yeah.
I love it.
I know. So does Robbie. Robbie told me I'm not allowed to sell it unless it goes to him.
You run
Unless
I
you
mean, if
offer
I'm
the
gonna,
right price.
the thing is, like, if I'm gonna run one, I guess it's the cool one to run. It's
No,
yeah,
it's definitely
no,
cool.
for
It's
sure.
definitely
yeah, it looks good. Wesley helped me wire up the lights for it. And,
Yeah,
yeah,
Yeah, it looks cool running down the road at night.
Yeah.
it does.
A lot of lights.
Yeah.
For sure. It's definitely the right one for the truck if you're going to run
yeah.
one.
And we had your white wheels on there for a while.
Yep,
the ones
yep.
that you bought from Robbie.
Yeah.
It kind of fit all then, but it's just not my style.
Right.
Mine-
No, I dig the wheels you got on it now.
Yeah, for sure.
Which is weird because Rick's nickname is Old Man Cheeseman.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. Well, always wearing that old
For
man
some
tan.
reason, you guys gave me that nickname. I'm not sure.
They don't know why?
Well, I know I've been on. Heck, I know you've gone to. I've been with you to go to LST
Yeah.
a time or two.
Yeah.
We've
Yeah, we
gone
did.
to
LST.
North Carolina.
Yep.
Where else? did
You've
we
driven
go?
up to Dino's, right?
Yeah, we drove to Dino's
Yeah.
last year. Not the past one, the one just before this one.
Do you know how many
You
miles
went
that was round trip?
I don't remember.
Okay, all good. That's a long way to.
Yeah. I know we boogied home in 2 days.
Golly.
That's a lot of driving.
Yes, it
Yeah.
is.
Y'all went to Texas in it last year, didn't you?
We go to Texas 3 times a year in it.
Yep.
And y'all go to Florida a lot.
Yeah.
South Florida,
We
right?
go all the way down to Key West with it once a year. My family's down in South Florida, so we stop there and then we go down to Key West and hang out for a little bit.
Yeah.
But yeah.
So tried and true.
Yeah, it's,
Like, I
it's
mean, this
become
is-
kind of pretty much a daily driver. I mean,
Yeah.
it's the one I drive most. Like we got the Blazer that I love driving, but that one it runs great, but the heat doesn't work in it. Like it's that old block. It keeps the heat core just keeps getting clogged with crap.
Yeah,
Yeah.
So it's hard to run it right now.
I get it.
This time.
Rick, let's take this thing for a ride.
We can do that.
All right.
Top 10 radar, yeah, we on your radar. Never miss, dog, and that's on occasion. Yeah, we on your radar. Yeah.
Hey,
We on your
look, top floor lifestyle, chef and boy, I'm cooking up. Way too high, ain't coming down. You see me if you looking up. I don't really talk too much, I show I'm running numbers up. Lucky that I'm showing up, I'm going off, they know what's up. Wrist too silly, yeah. Numbers crack the billy, yeah. Don't need no dilly, I'm too fresh, I feel like really, yeah. Feel the devil's up.
This thing sounds good. What's on it exhaust wise, Rick?
So it's got the speed engineering headers, long tube headers, and then we got the
Borla? Is that
yeah,
right?
Borla
Yeah,
Pro,
I couldn't
Pro
remember.
XS.
Yeah.
Sorry.
No, it's all good. I
Yeah,
was
the
trying to
Borla
remember
Pro
as well.
XS. I love them. I think they're quieter than most people like. I think
Yeah,
unless you get on it, they get a
come
little
alive.
loud. Yeah, that's kind of my thing.
I get it. Yeah, for sure. I like them. They're definitely mild, but they do sound good when you get on it, for sure.
Yeah.
So tell us a little bit more about the C10s in the city show, like where it came about. I know you guys do it for a good cause.
Yeah. So we do it all. You know, as most people know, Sarah went through breast cancer kind of thing. So we do it all for charity. It all goes to the Pink Fund. Everything we make from the raffle. The raffles, we don't make any money in the show. It's all it's a free show. But it was something that me and Sarah talked about for a long time. Sarah's the brains behind all of it. I mean, she does all the work. But we started out doing it, you know, as a thing, like we were going to do like a quarterly meetup, just a hangout kind of thing. And
Yeah.
and then we had like 70 trucks show up at the first one. Like, all right, cool, we can do this a couple times, 2-3 times a year kind of thing. And
Yeah.
next one was like 200 trucks showed up.
Yeah,
so,
yeah.
So it changed to a once a year kind of thing. And the last one we had right at 400.
It's definitely turned into a monster. It's huge. It's great.
Yeah, it's been fun.
It's cool. It's been cool for us as outsiders a little bit to see them grow the show, because the first spot was super cool, super small.
Yeah.
But luckily you changed to a bigger spot the second time.
Right.
Because we would have never fit anybody in that. You're gonna turn around right here.
Yeah. We even had trouble fitting them in that other spot. We only stayed there one time. We moved it again.
Yeah,
like
absolutely.
in a bigger lot, like right in the same area there.
For sure.
But we do it right in downtown Atlanta. It's at the old Brave Stadium.
Yep. Old Turner Field, right?
Yep.
Yep.
Yeah, which is now Georgia State owns that stadium now, which is a nice stadium. Someday I'd like to change the dimension up a little bit, you know, do some coilovers.
Yeah.
But I really want is the QA1 stuff, and
Yeah, you'd mentioned doing that to get the front down a little bit.
yeah, because
right?
I want the whole thing down. I'd like to get the whole truck down another inch on coilovers.
Yeah.
That's the goal at some point, but you know, right now we're trying to build a shop at the house, so everything's kind of on hold.
Yeah. No, life happens for sure building these trucks, but shoot, you've made big improvements on this thing. It looks good, including today. We're actually putting a little shop set of wallwoods on the front of this thing today, and you'll actually see that in I don't know how these videos are going to release, but it'll either be just before this or just after this, so make sure you guys check that video out also.
Yeah, that'd be cool. I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah, I think we'll see a big improvement.
Yeah.
So that'll be awesome.
Never miss, dog, and that's on occasion. Yeah, we on your radar.
Look, I know God got his hand on me. I'm exactly where I'm supposed to be. So when they know my name overseas, that is something God oversees. Living life they think is make believe. It ain't magic, nothing on my sleeve. Never noticed what you had to give, but want a piece of what you do receive. Wrist too silly, numbers cracked.
Alright, so I hope y'all enjoyed Rick Cheeseman's truck. Killer truck. Look for it. I mean, because he drives it all around Atlanta. Also, he does C10s in the city in Atlanta, which AMD is a sponsor of it. Which, if you go to AMD and do Pancake, you get 15% off parts. And then
Yeah, C10s in the City is on June 29th. It should be a killer event. We have good sponsorship. We got CK Truck Magazine and AMD's is our main sponsor, and we had about 400 C10s there last year. It was great. Had a good time.
Yeah, C10 in the City is a great show. It's awesome. You guys should definitely come check it out. It's a lot of folks show up in Atlanta, and it's a good time for sure.
a lot of C10s come out of nowhere that you're like, where did this truck come from?
Yeah,
but
that's the
killer
coolest part of that show. Yeah,
cool show. So don't forget AMD Pancake. Get yourself 15% off parts. Great parts. Can't talk them up enough.
absolutely.
So
Thanks for watching, guys.
see y'all next
See you
time.
next time.